We are tied to a piece.
This game summary is sponsored by Budweiser.
Looking back at this game in the second inning, a 2-out single by Oliver and a 2-run homer by Billy Hatcher. Pirates waited until the fourth inning. They had a double by Bell, a single by Bonilla, double by Martinez. And we are tied. We had a 4-3 game, a 2-1 game, and 2-2 going into the fifth inning of this one. Well, a tip of the cap to Lou Piniella. Tipping his own cap after giving that intentional walk, and it paid off. Struck out lean and got the pitcher.
Lou, one of the few managers in the major leagues that still wears his watch when he's in uniform. Ought to be out of uniform wearing your watch.
Here the strike to from Zane Smith to Billy Hatcher, who cracked the home run into left center in the second inning. His first home run ever in this park, and he used to play for Pittsburgh. His first hit in the playoff, he's 1 for 4.
Baseball, one of the only team games, if not the only team game outside doubles tennis without a clock, and Lou's wearing his watch.
1 ball, 1 strike. Catcher batting in the number 8 spot. He gets ahead on the count, 2 balls and a strike. Ball was up, and that ball is a base hit, and after hitting a home run, he's going to get a double. Van Slyke gets it back in. Zane Smith allows another base knock. That's number 6 for Cincinnati, and the pitcher will probably try to bunt him over to third.
In game 1, we were talking about the lanes of the plate and how it was important for guys to go inside and outside. Well, for a guy like Zane Smith, it's important for him to stay down in the strike zone because he throws a sinker. And most of the hits off Smith this afternoon have been up.
Hatcher with a home run and a double. And the batter is Danny Jackson. I was watching Jackson practice his bunting the other day. He's doing a very good job of it. And every once in a while, he would pull the bat back and swing at it. So let's see what he does here. First baseman charging. Bunt foul. Bounced up and tracked him in the head.
What he's trying to do here is make the third baseman feel the ball. You remember in game 1 with Bob Patterson on the mound? This hits him in the jaw. That doesn't hurt, though. Remember with Bob Patterson on the mound in the 9th inning, first and second, nobody out? We talked about it the next day. You try to get the third baseman to feel the ball, and that's what Jackson's trying to do right here.
What do you mean that didn't hurt?
Nah, that didn't hurt.
He bunts the ball to third, and King has to field it. So Jackson did his job, and Lean took the throw. 5-4 on the sacrifice.
See, when you get the third baseman to field the ball, then you get him away from the bag. Now, that's where the runner's going to, so that's why it's important to make the third baseman field the ball. Good bunt by Jackson. See, King vacates the bag. Hatcher's over, and the sacrifice successful. Fine job of bunting by Danny Jackson.
And that's one of the reasons why Piniella has Barry Larkin batting in the leadoff spot. He said, when I bunt a runner over, I want to have somebody up there who can drive the runner home.
Larkin with 65 RBIs on the season. That's a lot for a guy who batted in the number 1 hole most of the year.
Infield is in. Larkin takes ball 1. He's grounded to short and lined out to left. And there we see King, Bell, and on the right side, Lean and Martinez playing in for the play at the plate. Ball 1 the count. Over but low. That's ball 2. How does it look from upstairs on the Goodyear blimp? We did have some rain this morning here in Pittsburgh. So you see those wet patches. And it looks like a pinball machine, doesn't it? Runner at third, 1 out. Pirates just tied it. Cincinnati threatening here in the 5th. And a foul ball makes it 2-1. At the end of today's game, Tim McCarver and I will select the Chevrolet Most Valuable Player of the game. Chevrolet will then donate $1,000 in the player's behalf to the Special Olympics. Larkin trying to get Billy Hatcher home from third.
The squeeze is a possibility here.
That one caught the corner. Running the count to 2-2 and diminishing the chances of the squeeze play.
Not with 2 strikes, because obviously if you bunt it and it's foul, it's a strikeout.
Leo DeRocher used to like the 2-strike squeeze play when he was manager. There was never anybody who bunted a ball better with 2 strikes than Rod Carew. And that ball is fair, and the throw, save. There's an interesting play with King making the save but unable to throw him out. And a bang-bang play at first.
Now, we'll see with the infield in, the runner at third has to make the ball go through. That's why Hatcher dives back to third. The third base coach told him make the ball go through. He steps on third, and now remarkably, I think he has him. I think Barry Larkin was out. What a play by Jeff King to save a run, but I think he got an out that he wasn't given credit for.
So it's first and third, 1 out.
What a play by Jeff King. He's got the glove and the foot comes down. He was out. Here it is again. He's out. Foot's not on the bag yet. He's out. Great play by King.
And the call was safe, and it's first and third with 1 out, and Duncan is the batter. He's 0 for 2 in this game. Strike 1 to him. And this pitcher, Zane Smith, who got 1 double play ball early in this game in the 4th inning, would like another right here. 2-2 the score in the 5th, first and third, 1 out. Deep into left field, might leave the park. It is gone for a 3-run homer, and it's 5-2 Cincinnati. Well, the Pirates were thinking double play, but the batter was thinking something else.
He was thinking double pump. We talked about it before. Duncan 0 for 8 before this home run. The leading hitter in the majors against left-handed pitching. And he gets a fastball right down the heart of the plate. And it doesn't take him long. Boy, I mean, he gets all of this. More to center than to left.
He wasn't sure it was gone for a period of time, but then he knew.
7.5 years in the Dodger organization, coming to the Reds last year. 2 home runs against Zane Smith. Further evidence that he's getting the ball up.
It's the second one he's watched sail out of the ballpark. One by Hatcher with a man on, and this one by Duncan with 2 on. And Duncan's first hit of the playoff, as Tim told you. He picked the perfect spot, makes it 5-2. Now a strike into Chris Sabo. Mariano Duncan, Chris Sabo at the dish. He's 1 for 2. Boy, the ball sounds good here when you hit it in this park, doesn't it?
Sure does.
1 ball, 1 strike to Sabo. And that's low. 2-1.
That's a funny thing, you know, when you really hit a ball, you don't hear the sound as much as when you don't hit it well. There's that little click, that healthy click off the fat part of the bat. When you don't hit it well, you hear it more than when you hit it well.
Chasing a bad ball low. It's 2-2.
It's that sound that is pure to all hitters. It's that little click, and that's what Duncan has done. That's what Hatcher has done. Click, click, 5-2.
Right-hander is Bill Landrum. The left-hander is Bob Kipper in the Pirate bullpen in the right field corner. Bouncing ball to short to Jay Bell. That's the second out of the inning. Well, tomorrow we have a doubleheader of League Championship Series. It starts at 3 Eastern for Game 3 of the American League Championships between Boston and the world champion Oakland A's. Then tomorrow night, CBS Sports, live prime time, 8 Eastern time, the 4th game of this one between the Reds and the Pirates. So a doubleheader on CBS tomorrow. Eric Davis fouls one. He still hasn't hit his stride. He's 1 out of 9. But the so-called lesser hitters are doing it for the Reds. Hatcher and Duncan. Ball 1. The 5th, and Cincinnati has regained the lead 5-2. Don't count this Pirate Club out. They've shown us a couple of times already how well they come back. 2-2. 1-2 on the foul. There's Bill White, the president of the National League. He doesn't care who wins. He just wants to see good baseball. Former Giant, former Cardinal, former Philly. Easy travel between these two cities, Pittsburgh and Cincinnati.
He was also a former announcer. That doesn't mean when you quit announcing you become the National League president, does it? Does for him, I guess.
It's the way it worked for him. Davis waiting. 2-2. That home run by Duncan took the wind out of the sails of this crowd. He waited till he was 0 for 8 before he got a hit inside to Davis. 3-2. They're waving the green weenies, putting the whammy on Cincinnati. Struck him out. Davis is 1 out of 10, but 3 runs on 3 hits. And Cincinnati's back on top. The score 5-2.
Very nice, Jack. Now Jeff King leads it off. Different situation here. A 3-2 pitch. Pirates keep coming back. We're seeing the type of offensive production from both teams today that we used to seeing.
And now Jay Bell, who has 1 for 2, is up. Strike up in the zone. Strike 1.
Come on, Jay Bell.
Jay yells that man. He's been an effective hitter with runners on base. 1-1. Reds have 8 hits and the Pirates now have 5. Danny Jackson has to get through this 5th inning to be credited with a victory if the Reds win. Bell hits it to past third, a base hit. And Bell is such a good bunter. It was surprising to look up and see Sabo playing as far in as he was. That ball zipped by him on this turf. So the first 2 are on, and here come the Bucks.
I think Sabo had an idea about Bell bunting. Not only is he a good sacrifice bunter, he had 39 this year, but whether Sabo was back or in, that's a base hit all the way.
Here's Van Slyke. These Pirates keep doing things. We can't show you that championship moment, but we will. Van Slyke drew a walk and scored a run in the 4th. He's the tying run at the plate. Hits it in the left. Might drop. That ball is caught by Davis. He made a good play. Make no mistake about Davis. Sore shoulder, bad knees previously. He is a wonderful defensive player in center or in left. That's a first out.
Gold Glove to his credit, and a Gold Glover hits it. I tell you, Davis eats up so much ground, and you don't think that he's running fast. He makes a relatively easy play out of that ball.
And sign for Bobby Bonilla. He's hit the ball hard twice today. He lined out to short. He singled home a run. 2 on, 1 out. Boy, hit it hard again, but foul. Strike 1. And Bonilla always moving about up there. He hops gets up and down and he dances. One ball, one strike. On deck is Barry Bonds. In the stands, his daddy, Bobby Bonds. What a great player he was. Now he's saying, come on, Bobby, for Bonilla. And Jackson got that low pitch past him 1-2.
Yeah, that was a biting slider there out of the strike zone. Watch it bite down and in to Bonilla. Bobby swinging over that pitch. That was a nasty slider from Jackson there.
And Jackson's ahead on the count, 1-2. Popped him up for the second out. Infield fly rule applies. First baseman Benzinger makes the catch, and there are 2 gone. So the Pirates put their first 2 on, and it indeed will be up to the younger Bonds. Barry is struck out and fouled out to short.
First time any Pittsburgh Pirates player has been in the 30-30 club. Barry's dad, Bobby, did it 5 times. 5 times. 30 home runs, 30 stolen bases.
Bonds is 1 out of 9 in the series. And a strike from Jackson, who's pitching extremely well. Here comes the Pirate train roaring through the stadium. Jackson ahead on the count, and Bonds looks at it low. There's Barry. And his dad sweats it out. Probably more nervous now than he ever was when he was playing. 1-1 to the hitter. Played off, ball 2. 2 on, 2 out. At second base, Jeff King a leadoff single, and Jay Bell got a hit, and slight flight out, and Bonilla popped up. Three and 1. With 2 out, Jackson is not going to give in to this hitter. Even if he has to pitch to the next batter with the bases loaded. Three and 1, 2 on, 2 out. Ball 4. That's the 3rd pass given by Jackson. And he would rather do that than give in to Bonds. It loads the bases. After ball 4.
Exhale, Bobby.
And a visit to the mound. Bases loaded, 2 out. The Pirates left the bases loaded in the 4th. And Pinella's talking to Jackson about pitching to Carmelo Martinez. He has Norm Charlton warmed up in the bullpen after Scudder had warmed up earlier.
Tell you, Lou did something that if you're a catcher you don't like. With the catcher and the pitcher right there, Lou asked the catcher how he was throwing. Joe Oliver said fine. You could see Danny Jackson saying 5. You know, you try to build up that communication with the pitcher if you're a catcher, and you don't want to tell a manager that a pitcher's not throwing well while he's out there. I mean, you don't want to do that.
You got to tell him behind his back.
Oh, you got to find a way. You know, if you're a manager, you got to ask the pitcher. You can't put a catcher in that situation and ask him how a pitcher's throwing. Got to ask the pitcher.
Well, Martinez popped out his first time up and then doubled home a run in the 4th. Hit a double past 3rd. Base hit loaded, 2 out. Pirates trailing by 3. Ball 1.
Nice play by Oliver, using that catcher's mitt like a first baseman's glove.
2 singles and a walk have loaded them up. 2 out. Popped it up on the infield, and who wants it? Larkin takes charge, and the Pirates leave 3 more. They've left 7, put the first 2 on, failed to score. They trail by 3. We'll return to Three Rivers Stadium After this word from your local station, it's 5-2 Cincinnati. We're back here at Three Rivers Stadium, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Third game of the National League Playoff Series. It's tied at a game apiece, but as we go into the 6th inning of this one, Cincinnati is on top by the score of 5-2. They've out-hit the Pirates 8-6. Pittsburgh has left 7. They left the bases loaded in the last 2 innings. With your blimp overhead showing us those shots, and we're coming around to the business hour. Here's a home run by Billy Hatcher in the 2nd, following a 2-out hit by Joe Oliver. Former Pirate player knocked one out of here for the first runs of the game. Pittsburgh came back to tie it, but with 2 on and 1 out in the 5th inning, the long ball struck again, and here we go into the 6th inning. First up, Glenn Braggs. Bill Landrum, the new pitcher. He pumps a strike in there. Braggs is 1 for 2. Landrum 7-3 and 13 saves during the season. He's a former member of the Cincinnati club. To the Reds leading. 1-1 from Landrum.
See, this is one of those trap innings for Lou Piniella. Jim Leland's trying to get, by bringing in the right-hander, he wants Piniella to exchange Braggs and Joe Oliver, the 3rd hitter in this inning. But a 3-run lead negates that.
The ball's foul off the bat of Braggs. 1-2.
That's why when you start a left-handed pitcher, then the manager, Lou Piniella in this case, has mostly right-handed hitters in there. So Jim Leland brings in the right-hander to get Lou to maybe change, put in a pinch hitter. But Lou's not biting because he's got a 3-run lead. Tie ball game, you might see a change here.
Looks like they're looking across a poker table at each other. 5-2, the Reds on top.
See who has the best cards.
Landrum, who used to pitch for the Reds and the Cubs, working for the Pirates here in the 6th. And he got it by him. Here's the biggest hit of this game, the 2-on, 1-out home run by Duncan in the 5th inning, and he really smashed it.
This game being seen in 61 countries, including the Dominican Republic. I'll guarantee you they are dancing in the streets of San Pedro de Macorís. That's where Mariano hails, along with a ton of other Major League Baseball talent.
Benzinger is up. The switch hitter is 1 for 2. And he skies it for Van Slyke. Can he get there? Yep, a good play. 2 out. Van Slyke can go get him. Takes a hit away from Benzinger.
Ball had too much hang time. Todd hits it well, but Van Slyke with a good jump, and he makes a rather easy play out of it. Tell you, between Van Slyke and Barry Bonds, you're not going to see a lot of balls fall in left center field. They can flat track them down.
Oliver is singled and grounded into a double play, and Landrum gets a strike. We're in the top of the 6th. 5-2 Cincinnati. Popped it up to the right side for Jose Lean. Down go the Reds. 1, 2, 3. And Pittsburgh comes to bat in the bottom of the 6th inning. They trail 5-2. He's had a double, and he was given a walk.
That walk, an intentional walk the last time up in the 4th inning to load the bases. And with 1 out, Jose Lean struck out. That's the biggest pitch of this ball game for Danny Jackson. Strikeout of Lean.
Bases were loaded with 1 out at the time, and Jackson gets ahead on the count here in the bottom of the 6th. Then they'll send up Lean and then a pinch hitter, so the Pirates will need another hitter. Out of play, strike 2.
Danny Jackson with surgery on his left toe. That put him out for last year. When he came back this year, he went on the disabled list 3 times and told me that one of the reasons was he was trying to do too much. His toe gave him problems. He tried to compensate and ended up hurting his shoulder. They thought initially it was a rotator cuff injury, but he went out the next day. He said, I'm going to prove the doctors wrong. He did, and that's why he came back in September. And as you see today, he is throwing exceptionally well. Very miffed at the writers for asking him questions about his physical well-being.
0-2 to the batter. A broken bat ground ball to Sabo. Have plenty of time, and he gets the first out. Now let's go down to James Brown with Bobby Bonds.
All right, Jack, thank you very much. Obviously, your son's having a little difficult time right now. 1 for 9 in the series up to this point. Have you said anything to him at all? What have you noticed he hasn't been doing?
Well, you know, this is the first time I've watched him live. You know, watched him on TV, and today it looked like he's just pressing a little bit. Looked like he's grabbing the bat a little bit too tight, and he's just a little bit tense. So I'm going to talk to him afterwards to try to get him to relax just a little bit.
Jose leaned, hits it fair, past third. And that'll be a one-out double here in the 6th inning. Pirates are specializing in 2 base hits today. That's their 4th. Leaned is saying, why didn't I do that with the bases loaded?
I was thinking the same thing. Timing is everything. And here Jose Lean rifles one by Chris Sabo at third base. As Jack said, the 4th double of the game. But he was called out on strikes the last time up with the bases loaded and 1 out. He would love to exchange that. And it'd be a tight ball game. At the time he was called out, the score was 2-2, bases loaded and only 1 out. He took the call, strike 3, and then Zane Smith tapped back to Danny Jackson.
And we're going to have a pinch hitter for Bill Landrum, who pitched 1 perfect inning with a strikeout along the way. And that brings a visit to the mound by the pitching coach. Gary Reedus is going to pinch hit, and Jackson's visited by Stan Williams. And Williams is going to make the pitching change.
Stan Williams and Lou Piniella waiting until Gary Reedus was announced, and now they're going to go to the right-hander, Rob Dibble.
So Dibble follows Jackson to the mound, 1 on, 1 out. Danny Jackson pitched well, 5 1/3, 2 runs, 7 hits, struck out 5, walked 3, 1 intentionally. He gives way to Rob Dibble, who now makes his 2nd appearance in the playoff. He was 8-3 with 11 saves during the regular season. And we have more from James Brown.
All right, Jack, back with Bobby Bonds, the father of Barry Bonds. You were describing to me what Barry should be doing differently with his swinging position. Show us that.
Well, you know, I'm watching him right now, and right through here you can see where he's gripping the bat so tight he actually has ripples right near his arm. And if you have these ripples, that shows me that you're really tense. So basically, I got to have him just loosen up. Start off with the bat loose in his hand. When he swings and approaches the ball, he'll take the natural strength grip and hit the ball. But right now, he's almost like choking a baseball bat.
And as Tim McCarver said, that comes from a man 30-30, 5 consecutive years. Back upstairs.
There's Barry on the bench. On the mound, making his 3rd playoff appearance in as many games is the fireballer Rob Dibble. First up against him is Gary Reedus. Big swing and strike 1.
You might wonder why Jim Leland isn't employing a left-handed hitter. Well, the Pirates still trail by 1 or by 3, and Jeff King's on deck. If Reedus gets on, you can expect a guy like Sid Bream or somebody like that, Wally Backman, to pinch hit for Jeff King.
1-1 to Reedus. Reedus usually has a good batting eye. He can be a dangerous hitter and occasionally hit the long ball. Not very often, though.
This is a bad matchup, though. But he was already announced. That's why Dibble was brought in the game.
Couldn't reach that one. 1-2. Reedus had 6 home runs during the season. And strikeouts are the norm whenever Dibble is pitching. Digs a better hole in front of the pitching rubber. We are in the bottom of the 6th. 1 on, 1 out. A 5-2 Cincinnati lead. 1-2 to Reedus. Former Cincinnati player. Jeff Smith's 2-2. I don't think Reedus could have swung at that if he wanted to. 2-2. It's been well documented about this pitcher, Rob Dibble. He wants to be a closer someplace or be paid more money by the Reds. 3-2. Dibble will walk people occasionally and then come back and strike them out.
That was a slider. Joe Oliver just hanging on.
They don't have much time to react when Dibble's pitching. 3-2. Leaned at second, one out. Struck him out. That's the second out of the game. Boy, that guy is something. He is something.
He can blow. Good old-fashioned hardball right here. Like baseball you used to play in the pasture. High heat.
You know, these radar guns have a lot of variables in there, but the gun that we just used said 99 miles per hour on that pitch. The batter is Jeff King, 1 for 3. On the inside corner, that ball moved.
That's 44 miles over the speed limit.
That ball really jumped from Dibble, stayed on the corner. Leaned at second, 2 out. The Pirates have already stranded 7. That's strike 2. Pittsburgh left the bases loaded in the 4th, put the first 2 on in the 5th, and never did score. Left the bases loaded. And a 1-out double here. They wasted a leadoff double in the 3rd. So they have missed some chances. What are you thinking, Mr. Dibble, after you rub up that pelote? You're going to waste one? You're going to try to get him right here. 0-2, 2 out. That's the answer to that question. 2 strikeouts for Dibble, who just came into the game, and now Pittsburgh has left 8, and they trail 5-2. We go into the 7th inning, and let's look back at a National League Championship moment from Game 5, 1972.
Here's the 1-1 pitch.
And a wild pitch in the 9th inning, and George Foster scored the winning run, and that nailed down the title for the Reds in 1972.
Bob Moose the pitcher and Hal McRae was the hitter. And John Smiley's the new pitcher, the 3rd pitcher of the day for the Pirates, his first appearance in the League Championship Series.
He'll work in the 7th inning to the Cincinnati Ball Club and Billy Hatcher. Hatcher batting in the number 8 spot. He bunts the ball. Tough play for Smiley. Couldn't get it out of the glove. And Hatcher, who had a double and a home run previously, bunts safely to start the 7th inning.
And the reason right-handed hitters try to bunt against left-handed pitchers is left-handers fall toward the 3rd base line. Watch Smiley. And it takes him a long time to unravel. And now he tries the shovel pass that never develops. So the 3rd hit of the day for Billy Hatcher. He's homered, doubled, and singled.
And Smiley is greeted with that bunt single, which is the 9th hit for the Reds. And now Dibble will try to get the ball down. And takes a strike from Smiley, who would like to strike out, but you have to watch Hatcher in the running department. The runner over at first base, Billy Hatcher, swiped 30 bases this year. So if Smiley is careless, he'll take off. Dibble bunts it to 3rd. The play will be to 2nd by King. He got him. Now Dibble will run the bases with 1 out. The play went 1-6.
Bunted too hard.
5-6, excuse me.
Jeff King makes the play to 2nd base. And you see, Jay Bell, sometimes a shortstop or a second baseman, they take on the posture of a first baseman. And that's what Jay Bell was doing right there, just making sure of the lead runner.
Well, here's your favorite play. They put a jacket on Rob Dibble running the bases at first.
80 degrees. And Rob Dibble's going to put the jacket on. One of the more overrated things in this grand game.
And the first baseman, Martinez, will play behind Dibble with 1 out here in the 7th. The batter is Larkin, 1 for 3. First pitch, a strike from Smiley.
Bob Gibson used to say, hey, when you're on base, you become a base runner. You're no longer a pitcher. And how many base runners do you see wearing warm-up jackets?
Smiley has been a starter for the Pirates most of the time. This is low and away.
Martinez playing behind Dibble, of course. I mean, Dibble, a relief pitcher. He's not going anywhere. Martinez then moving into the hole in case Larkin spanks it that way.
1-1 pitch has popped up, and that should be the second out. Leaned is under it. And that's the second out. Well, tonight on CBS, premier programming commences with Uncle Buck, no relation. Followed by Major Dad, no relation. And then some fine programming, the 24th Annual Country Music Association Awards. All of that tonight on CBS.
There's Uncle Buck.
Uncle Buck.
Uncle Jack.
Runner at first, 2 out. Fly ball into left field, down the line, and curving foul at the last moment off the bat of Duncan. Duncan, the Pirates are thinking, has done enough damage today. He hit a 3-run, 1-out home run in the 5th inning. Marked the difference in this game. It's 5-2.
Gets out in front here. The ball down and in. And hits it into the Reds bullpen. There it is. Clear out, guys. And see, they clear out. Nobody's there.
Up to Smiley to hold the Reds right where they are. And the Pirates have the tough task of trying to break through against Dibble, or maybe Charlton, or maybe Myers. Line drive and another base hit for Duncan. He's 2 for 4. Dibble stops at second. Well, had the sacrifice worked in this inning, that would have been another run for Cincinnati. Instead, they're 2 on, 2 out. The Reds talking with Duncan. Pirate fans are unhappy.
Duncan, by the way, used to be a switch hitter when he was with the Dodgers, and he says that hitting primarily as a right-handed batter, he rarely switch hits anymore. But when you're hitting right-handed all the time, you do become more comfortable against left-handed pitching. That's been the big difference in his average this year, batting over 400 against left-handers.
Sabo is 1 for 3. Strike on the inside corner. Fine pitch from John Smiley. 4 out of 17 during his career against this pitcher for Chris. The Reds have left only 2. Pirates have left 8. Broken bat, pop fly into center. Van Slyke got there for the out. Now the Reds lead 2, and they've left 4. It's 7th inning stretch time here in Pittsburgh. Cincinnati with 2 home runs has the lead, 5-2.
CBS Sports coverage of Game 3 of the 1990 National League Championship Series is brought to you by Toyota's quality line of cars and trucks. Toyota, I love what you do for me. The employee owners of Avis, we're trying harder than ever. And by Budweiser, the king of beers. Remember, know when to say when.
Rush hour in downtown Pittsburgh. We're looking at the Golden Triangle. The tallest buildings are the USX Tower and the PPG, the Pittsburgh Plate Glass building. And a look at the Ohio River.
Downtown Pittsburgh. Ironically, that's been the problem today for the Pirates. 2 guys with the Cincinnati Reds have gone downtown for all 5 runs.
Those pictures from the Goodyear Blimp America. Here we are into the bottom of the 7th inning.
Pittsburgh Pirates, when trailing after 6 innings this year, were 5-53. Only the St. Louis Cardinals and the Chicago Cubs had worse records. That's when they were trailing after 6 innings. They're 5-53. So against this Reds bullpen, it does not look good for the Buccos.
They trail 5-2, and Jay Bell leads it off. He's had a single and a double. And he's had 4 hits in the playoff. And he hits it to Larkin. And there is one gone on the throw to Bensinger. You get something to swing at against Dibble, you might as well. Although some would say trailing by 3 ought to give Dibble a chance to walk in. But Bell went for the first one. That's one way this game has changed considerably.
Yeah, that particular style of play is passé now in baseball. 15 years ago, if you're trailing by more than 1 run, where your home run with the bases empty doesn't mean anything. If you were trailing by more than 1, you take a strike. Not so anymore.
And Slight, ball 1. He has walked twice. He's flying to left. And he wondered if he'd be able to pull the ball against Dibble, who has retired 3 in a row in relief of Danny Jackson. Right at the beginning of the day, we talked about defense, and Lou Piniella told us that's the first thing he thinks about when he makes out a lineup card.
Said any offense you get is gravy. What you have to do is stop the other team from scoring. Defense, or good pitching, really shored up by good defense.
And Slight with 1 out. Strike 2. Over in Cincinnati in the 9th inning of the 2nd game, we saw some sparkling play from Barry Larkin at short. And Larkin has taken care of the first out in this inning. 1-1 the count. And Slight clinched, and it's a strike. 1-2. Foul ball keeps Van Slyke up there. 1-2 with 1 out. Dibble retired the first 2 that he faced on strikes in the 6th. That got Bell on a ground ball. He's working up a sweat here in the 7th inning.
That's the same guy who had his jacket on running the bases.
He's not warm. 1-2. The 3rd strikeout for Dibble. I know you Cincinnati fans would like to see that work by Barry Larkin in the 9th inning the other day.
Barry Bonds leading off the game, a 1-run ball game, 2-1, and look at this play by Larkin. That's a wow. Barry Bonds thought it was going to be a base hit. Then he made a rather fine play for the 2nd out. It was the Barry Larkin show in the 9th at Cincinnati as they won their first game.
Dibble with the bases empty, 2 out to Bonilla. High fly ball, playable for Davis. And in the 7th, the Pirates go down in order, and Dibble has set down 5 in a row. Now we've played 7 innings. Reds still lead 5-2.
Toyota presents All-Around Champions. Roberto Clemente left his mark on baseball with a style of play that is rarely seen. Beyond the game, Clemente worked tirelessly to help other Latin Americans in need and lost his life while on a mercy mission to earthquake victims in Nicaragua. Toyota has proudly contributed $1,000 to the Roberto Clemente Sports City. Toyota salutes all-around champions.
Just past 5:30 local time here, and the Goodyear blimp shows you the outline of the football field that was used yesterday here. And right after the Steelers defeated San Diego, the ground crew went to work. They worked till 7 o'clock this morning getting this field ready for baseball. And it takes us into the 8th inning. And the first pitch is popped foul and out of play by Eric Davis. Chased by Slaught, nothing doing. The pitcher is Smiley. And our friends upstairs in the Goodyear blimp showing us the pretty pictures of Pittsburgh and the rivers and the ballpark.
See the football field there. It's a funny thing. The Pirates and the Steelers were both working out here on Saturday, and the Steelers were working on their kickoff return. And Andy Van Slyke went up to one of the guys. He said, "What are you working on that for? You don't have an offensive touchdown all year."
But they did yesterday.
Yeah, right. Came out of it, came off the snide yesterday.
And Eric Davis is almost on a snide. He is 0 for 3 today with 2 strikeouts, and he's 1 for 10. Facing John Smiley, and a pop fly, and a play for Slaught. And he makes the catch. And Eric Davis is going down too easily as far as Cincinnati fans are concerned. He's 0 for 4 and 1 for 11.
Trading baseball cards, I believe. Where's the bubble gum? Probably in his mouth. No?
That hat doesn't fit that kid, does it?
No.
Okay, teaching the kid how to trade those cards.
Yeah.
Now at the plate, it's Glenn Braggs. And strike 1 to him from Smiley, who is in his 2nd inning of work following Zane Smith and Bill Landrum to the mound.
Instead of kickoff return, the Steelers were practicing their kickoffs the other day. Andy Van Slyke said, why are you practicing your kickoffs? You haven't scored an offensive touchdown yet. He's a funny guy.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Saw some clips of Barry Bonds throwing the football.
Like a left-handed option quarterback.
Boomer Esiason.
Braggs hits it up the middle. There's Jose Lead. He's always waiting for the ball. Boy, he has some range. Got over there in a hurry. 2 out. Broke the bat and grounded out to second. Braggs 1 for 4 on the day and in the playoff.
Tell you, these Reds are a different team against left-handed pitching. All of their hits today, they're 10 for 28 against left-handers today. They led the National League in hitting, 280 average. They are a different ball club against left-handed pitching. That's why I'm sure Jim Leland wants a good performance out of Bob Walk tomorrow night and Doug Drabek on Wednesday.
And the pitchers tomorrow night are going to be the first 2 who started, Bob Walk and Jose Rijo. We have the double dip tomorrow here on CBS. American League, National League. Benzinger hits it to Lean. That's all for Cincinnati in the 8th. Now the Pirates trailing by 3, 5-2 will send up Bonds to lead it off. Eighth inning, and as we look back at this game, we see that the Pirates left the bases loaded in the 4th and the 5th, and they have stranded 8. And Mariano Duncan's 3-run homer in the 5th inning was the big one. 2 on and 1 out at the time. Billy Hatcher hit a 2-run homer in the 2nd, and it's 5-2. And a new pitcher. Norm Charlton was the loser in relief in the 1st game, and he takes over in the 8th inning with an eye toward retiring. Barry Bonds, who leads it off, he's 0 for 2 and 1 for 9. Ball 1 to him from Charlton. Charlton was the starter, then they put him in the bullpen. 12 and 9 on the year, 2 saves. Bonds chased the low pitch, and Duncan missed him at first. Now the Pirates get their leadoff man on.
Barry Bonds, a .304 hitter against left-handers this year. The ball hits the heel of the glove of Mariano Duncan, bounces up, and once the ball bounces out of that glove, you can forget about getting Barry Bonds. Too fast.
And a base hit, in case you're wondering about the ruling, the 8th hit of the day for Pittsburgh. Charlton has a pretty fair move for a left-hander.
I'm surprised they're holding him on. 8th inning, they've got a 3-run lead. Of course, Bonds will run any time. That's where baseball has changed. And Martinez doesn't hit the ball that way a lot.
Martinez 1 for 3. Strike to him. Martinez popped to first. He doubled home a run in the 4th, and then he popped out with a base hit loaded in the 5th. Carmelo used to be with the Cubs, the Padres, the Phils this year. The other clubs before this year. He went around, and he's quickly in the hole 0-2.
Notice the Reds don't have either their shortstop or their second baseman cheating at second base. The double play would be nice here, but they're playing for 1 out. When you got a 3-run lead in the 8th, you want 1, not 2.
There's one right there as Martinez fans. So Charlton, after giving up the hit to Bonds, gets Martinez. Turned that ball over a little bit, didn't he? Looked like it.
Good location. It did have a little action away from Martinez. Good location right on the outside corner.
1 on, 1 out for Don Slaught. He's had a double and given a walk. 1 for 2. First pitch low.
And once again, Lou Pinella's playing for 1 out. There are a lot of teams that don't do that. Duncan is straight away at second base. Larkin is straight away at shortstop. They're not cheating for the double play. See Duncan away from second, Larkin the same at short.
And the pitch goes low, ball 2. They'll take the double play if it comes their way, but they're not playing out of position to try to enhance it.
That's right. They're not cheating the second baseman towards second base. They're playing straight up and making sure they get 1 out.
Pretty picture here at Three Rivers Stadium. And Slaught hit it foul. 2-1. We have a doubleheader tomorrow on CBS, live at 3 Eastern Time. Game 3 between Boston and the Oakland A's. And then the second part of the Twin Bill tomorrow night at 8 Eastern for Game 4 of this series between Cincinnati and Pittsburgh. That's tomorrow on CBS. These Pirate fans hungry for a rally. Bonds at first, 1 out. And he dropped a strike in there, 2-2. You see that Charlton hasn't thrown over to first. He's not that concerned with Bonds. Leading by 3, 5-2 the score here in the 8th. He wants to get an out. Bonds might just run on his own, but he's not going. And it just missed. 3-2. Getting late for Pittsburgh, 8th inning. And in order to win, they have to break through this Cincinnati bullpen. That's ball 4, and the tying run will come to the plate. The 4th walk given to the Pirates today.
Jack, you mentioned that Oakland ball club. They dominated the Red Sox in those 2 games at Fenway. I guess everybody in baseball is thinking, can they be beaten? I tell you, they can beat you in a lot of ways. Starting pitching, bullpen, defense, the long ball, the average, the stolen base. What do you need? They have it.
Jose Lind is up. He is 1 for 3. Pirates have already stranded 8 runners. 2 on, 1 out, and a strike to Jose. Chico, they call. He struck out with the bases loaded and 1 out in the 4th inning of this game. One of the big outs of the game. Get a home run in Game 2 over in Cincinnati. And Charlton with a spin move to keep Bonds close. You can do that to second base. You can't do that to first base when you're on the rubber. Lean. Ball 1 low. 1-1. Big spot here for Pittsburgh. Lead off single by Bonds. An infield hit. Then a walk. Pitcher due up next. Smiley's in the on-deck circle, but of course they'll pinch hit. Pirates trail by 3. Lean was late. 1-2.
Charlton after Dibble. Fastballs followed by more fastballs.
Looked like the catcher wanted that pitch up, didn't he? 1-2 and to third base. Out at second. Safe at first. Gets away. And a run scores. It's 5-3. And Duncan really didn't have much of a chance to complete the double play.
Well, that's because they were playing straight away. Once again, you do take that chance. Duncan had a long way to go to second base. He wasn't cheating as he normally would. especially with Jose Lean batting. Lean has that inclination to go the other way, so because of that, Duncan probably should have held the ball. But he elects to go to first off balance. Even a good throw doesn't have Lean, but the bad throw scores Bonds. In between hops, skips by Bensinger, and Bonds scores easily.
It took Duncan a long time to get to the base. We're going to have a pinch hitter. Tying run will be at the plate in the person of R.J. Reynolds. He'll bat for Smiley here in the 8th. Smiley pitched 2 shutout innings. And ball 1. Runner at first, Lean swiped 8 bases this year. This pinch hitting role has been the primary role for R.J. Reynolds all year. He's a switch hitter. Had 8 pinch hits during the season. Knows the strike zone, and he takes ball 2. 5-3, the Pirates have closed the gap. An error by Duncan was the first error of the game. They're 2 out. Two balls, no strikes to R.J. Ball 3. Charlton is opening the door.
Speaking of opening the door, that's exactly what R.J. Reynolds was glad he could do Saturday. After he was driving his Corvette to the workout, and he was rear-ended. His head went a bit against the dash. He had a headache, a sore back. So he is lucky that he could open the door after that crash coming to his workout on Saturday. But he is A-OK.
Runner at first, 2 outs. 3-0 to the batter. Strike, 3-1. Let's see if we get any action out of the Pirates here. Probably not in the running department. This is the first inning of work for Charlton. He's given up a hit and a walk. Runner not going. And he swung at it, says the umpire, or it was in the strike zone. 3-2.
Just caught the outside corner. As you see, Joe Oliver outside, and that ball was indeed a strike.
Bensinger drops behind Lean to a go with a pitch. He's at first, 2 out. Runner going. Popped up. That'll end the 8th. Sabo under it. And it was a fair ball as he caught it. And the inning is over. But the Pirates get 1 run on 1 hit, 1 error, 1 left. They've left 9, and after 8, they trail 5-3. We started the day tied at a game apiece, and the Reds carry a 5-3 lead into the 9th. And from up above, a look at the stadium. Now a close-up look at Stan Belinda, and his teammates call him Opie. He doesn't like that nickname, but they think he looks like Ron Howard.
I don't blame him for not liking it. If I looked like Ron Howard when he was a kid, I wouldn't like it either.
He looks better now.
Look at Opie. Opie's not. No, I wouldn't like that either.
Here we go into the 9th inning with Belinda, and he gives up a base hit to Joe Oliver. He won't try for 2 against Bonds. Bonds had that ball to second about the time Oliver got to first, but for Joe Oliver, his 2nd hit of the day.
Ron Howard, however, has turned out to be a real good-looking guy.
Don't try to make up. I heard you. We heard you.
This fastball to Joe Oliver lined to left field, so his 2nd hit of the day, and the first hit off a right-hander today for the Reds.
And we're going to have a runner for Oliver, and it's going to be Bates. Bates is the one thrown out by LaValliere the other day in game 2, or in game 1.
1st and 2nd, 1 out. Eric Davis took off for 3rd. I don't know whether Chris Sabo is saying that's it for me or it for my bat.
And let's see what the batter does. Billy Hatcher has singled, doubled, and hit a 2-run homer. Is he bunting here in the ninth? That's what you'd expect. Or a hit and run. Billy baits the runner. Hatcher bunting foul.
Billy Hatcher put the Reds on top in the second inning with this 2-run shot. Joe Oliver was on ahead of Billy. A 2-run homer, a 3-run homer by Mariano Duncan, and that has been it for the Reds. They have a 2-run lead here in the ninth.
I'd like to get this runner all the way around. Bates with the lead, nobody out. Melinda steps off.
With Hatcher bunting there, you would assume that Lou Piniella will be pinch hitting for Norm Charlton, who's on deck. Nobody's warming, however, for the Reds right now.
The pitch missed outside, although Randy Myers warmed up early, so it won't take him long to get ready.
I think Jeff Reed's coming in from the bullpen. So maybe Randy Myers is ready, but there's no one presently warming up for the Reds. And if that's the case, unless you're going to take Charlton out of the game, why are you bunting here?
Leadoff man is on. Melinda steps off. A base hit by Oliver. Bates is running for him. And Hatcher is at the dish. He's had 3 of the 11 Cincinnati hits. It's bunted in the air, and that's the first out of the inning. Boy, a manager hates to have something like that happen. Martinez made the catch as Hatcher bunted the ball too hard.
Gets the bat head under the ball, and an easy play for Martinez. So Jeff Reed now is going to be the pinch hitter, since he's going to come into the. No, it's going to be Hal Morris. Reed's in the game already. Lou Piniella, we've talked about it. He does have the luxury of carrying only 9 pitchers, 9 durable pitchers. So he does have 2 more extra players than Jim Leland has.
Norm Charlton is being lifted. He pitched 1 inning, 1 run, 1 hit, 1 strikeout, 1 walk. And Randy Myers will work the bottom of this 9th inning. Al Morris is up, 1 on, 1 out. Morris in the playoffs is 1 for 4. Had a terrific season for Cincinnati. And he fouls it to the screen.
It's very unusual for nobody to be up in the Reds bullpen. Randy Myers had warmed up earlier, but he just threw a few pitches. There he goes. There you are, on cue.
He'll work the 9th.
It won't take him many pitches to be ready.
He's loose, isn't he? In more ways than one. He's smiling, laughing, talking, jabbering. Bates, the runner at first, being held by Martinez. There goes the runner, and it's a perfect hit and run, and it's going to result in a base hit. And Bell did a good job of getting back to knock the ball down and prevent the runner from going to third. So Piniella does some running, and it pays off. Otherwise, that would have been a double play.
Well, sometimes you have the wrong guy covering. Jay Bell is covering on this play. Had it been the other way around and Jose Lind had been covering, could be a double play, or at least 1 out. But Lind is playing Morris to pull, so it would make sense that Bell would be covering. And he makes a nice recovery there to prevent Bill Bates going to third base. So instead of first and third, it's first and second. It was a nice play by Bell. He recovered nicely.
And there is 1 out, and Larkin is up, and he could blow this one open for the Reds, who lead by 2. 5-3 Cincinnati, 9th inning, 2 on and 1 out. Belinda in trouble in his first inning of work. Larkin has had a hit, 1 for 4. Ball 1 to him. Larkin drove home 67 runs during the regular season, none in the playoffs thus far. The Pirates and Belinda would like the double play. The Reds and Larkin would like a base hit to increase their margin. 2 on, 1 out. And the spin move for the Pirates. It will be the top of the order in the 9th inning against Randy Myers. First, we have this Cincinnati ninth. Belinda followed Zane Smith to the mound. Then Landrum, Smiley. Smith gave up all 5 Cincinnati runs. Larkin pops it up for the 2nd out of the inning. Bonds will take care of it. Always one hands the ball, and there are 2 out. In the Pirate bullpen, the left-hander is Bob Kipper. When another left-hander, Bob Patterson, joins him. Ted Power is sitting and watching. Pirates have 11 pitchers on their playoff roster. Cincinnati has 9. We're at Three Rivers Stadium. Pittsburgh, 9th inning, 2 on, 2 out. The score 5-3 Cincinnati. There's the line score. The Reds have hit 2 home runs. Here is a half swing, and the batter held up. Duncan, he's had a single and a home run. Dutch Runner, the umpire, said he didn't swing.
Almost all replays look like hitters go around too far. I think Dutch was right there. He didn't go.
You didn't think so?
No, neither did Dutch. He's the one who counts.
2 on, 2 out. And ball 1 to the batter, Duncan. Ball 2 from Stan Belinda.
You obviously disagree. I mean,
well, Jim Leland didn't get too upset about it. I thought he did go across the plate, but it doesn't matter.
A little too far.
There are the Pirates down by a couple. Sid Bream with a bat in his hands. He might be batting in the 9th inning. And the catcher, Slot, goes to the mound to talk it over. Here comes Ray Miller. We're in the gloaming here in Pittsburgh. Game started after 3 o'clock local time. Now we're a little after 6. These Reds would like very much to get more, and Belinda's job is to keep it a 2-run game and give the top of the order a chance at it in the bottom of the 9th. King, Bell, and Van Slyke, unless they go to Bream or LaValliere or some of the other left-handed hitters they have.
It's funny how baseball popularizes some words. I bet nobody would ever even use the word gloaming had Gabby Hartnett not hit the home run in the gloaming when 1938, 52 years ago, about this time of year.
You're right about that. 2 on, 2 out, 2 balls, no strikes to Duncan. Duncan has the big hit today, a 3-run homer in the 5th. Billy Hatcher hit a 2-run homer in the 2nd, and the Reds have never been behind. Cincinnati tied it in the 4th. The Pirates tied it in the 4th, and the Reds regained the lead in the 5th. Duncan lines one, and it's a base hit. Bates will come to the plate, and Van Slyke's throw is too late, and another run for Cincinnati, and the man over to third. The 3rd hit of the day for Duncan. He's driven in 4 of the 6 Cincinnati runs. Bates, the pinch runner, scores. Don't overlook that move by Piniella. And it is a 6-3 game.
And don't overlook Hal Morris pinch hitting for Norm Charlton. Morris with an infield hit. Bates was the pinch runner. So Lou Piniella tried to get another one. He got at least 1. And between Duncan and Billy Hatcher, they have driven in all 6 runs for the Reds today. The throw by Van Slyke is high toward the 3rd baseline. A nice play by Don Slot, but on the play, Morris goes to 3rd, and Bates scores easily.
Bates put the shoulder down. He wasn't going to be deterred. Van Slyke really didn't have much of a chance to throw him out. He gave it a try, and it's 1st and 3rd, 2 out. And a breaking ball. Strike 1 to the batter, Chris Sabo. At 3rd base, the runner is Hal Morris. Duncan, with his third hit of the day, is perched at first. And there's the score, 6-3. Ball high to Sabo. Sabo 1 for 4 and 2 out of 11 in the 3 games. Well, the Pirates thought they were out of it perhaps when Larkin flied to left. But Duncan nailed him. Pitches ball 2. Cincinnati got 5 runs off the starter Zane Smith, and now 1 off Belinda, who had pitched 2 perfect innings in another game. Sabo hits it foul back here, 2-2. The Reds have banged out 13 hits. About hit the Pirates 13-8.
I think somebody going after that foul ball right above us dropped a shoe or an umbrella. I guess the other shoe dropped. Oh, it's an umbrella. There it is.
Looked like a shoe.
Yeah, another umbrella dropped. We're waiting for the other umbrella to drop.
2-2 the count. 2 on, 2 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner goes from first, and a strikeout ends the inning. But a big run for the Reds on 3 hits. They leave 2. They have left 6. We're into the bottom of the 9th, and the visitors have the lead, 6-3.
You know, the purists say that you don't make one-handed catches. You may or may not know that it's proper technique when an outfielder is fielding a ground ball to use one hand to bring the glove to the shoulder and then throw. And you just saw it from one of the finest outfielders in the major league.
Well, now the crowd gets into it here as their ball club trails by 3. There's Van Slyke. Let's do it, they say. The Pirates, as we showed you, have not been good at coming from behind, and they're going to have to try it against one of the best relievers in the game. First of all, the catcher is Jeff Reed. After Oliver got the hit, they pitch ran for him. Now the pitcher is Randy Myers, who had 31 saves during the season. Jeff King's the batter, and ball 1. This is the second playoff appearance for Myers. He gave 1 walk in an inning and 2/3 in the second game, which Cincinnati won. He finished the game. King is 1 for 4, and that's a strike. It's 1-1. These 2 teams split during the season, 6 wins, 6 losses, but Cincinnati won 4 out of 6 in this part. And a foul ball carries into the stands as Myers came chasing over. He expected a big gust of wind to blow the ball back to him. That's Myers for you. He applies himself.
Well, he's a tenacious competitor, and he was traded for a tenacious competitor. You don't see many pitchers near the dugout. Open the gate, Randy said.
Oh, baby, don't go running in here.
The reason that trade was made, the Mets needed a left-hander that threw ground balls. Randy Myers is not a ground ball pitcher, and he fits in very well with Rob Dibble and Norm Charlton. Myers was a short man who could go on his own, and did this year, the relief man of the year.
Jeff King took a strike. He went around, according to the plate umpire, Paul Runge. That's the first out here in the 9th inning. King apparently didn't think that he had swung the bat. That's the first out in the 9th.
Well, you saw Mariano Duncan almost go around, and now Jeff King's probably saying, hey, I didn't go around any more than Duncan did.
Just about the same.
About the same, yeah.
One was a strike, the other wasn't. Myers has retired the first man, and the Pirates need 2 runners to have a chance. They trail 6-3. And the batter, Jay Bell, takes a strike, as he should after showing the bunt. We're tied at a game apiece. This is the 3rd game. And we'll see who gets the edge. On the corner, and that's strike 2.
Randy got the edge on that one, the edge of the outside corner.
He did.
Tell you, when you throw that hard and you live on the edge like Randy can, I mean, he's a control pitcher along with a guy who throws hard.
And he struck him out on the outside part with a fastball. Second out of the inning.
See, this pitch is not on the fat part of the plate. It's right on the edge. Randy Myers continues to live on the edge.
And now the Pirates with 2 out and nobody on, trailing by 3 in the 9th. Will have the left-handed batter Van Slyke up there. Andy has walked. He's 0 for 3. Ball 1. These 2 out of 11 in the playoff. Jackson, Dibble, Charlton, Myers. They used all 3 of the nasties today. There's a strike. Two out in the bottom of the 9th inning. Van Slyke trying to wheedle his way on base somehow. Tony and Bonds to follow. Long fly ball into right, curving and going foul. Keeps the score 6-3. The coordinating producer of Major League Baseball on CBS is Rick LaCivita. Today's telecast directed by Joe Assetti. Pre-game show produced by Ed Gorn, directed by Duke Struck. Senior producer David Winter. Executive producer of CBS Sports is Ted Shaker, and the Reds lead 2-1. And Randy Myers struck out the side. Hard shot likes that. Van Slyke ended the day 0 for 4. And the Reds come into this ballpark and win it by the score of 6-3. Pittsburgh Pirates left 9, and that made the big difference in the game. Cincinnati left 6. They popped the long ball. Hatcher and Duncan with the home runs. And the Reds are on top 2-1 after Lee, after winning today 6-3. We'll have some interviews coming your way.
Final score back here at Three Rivers Stadium. Cincinnati Reds take it 6-3, and I'm standing here with 2 of the heroes of the game. To my left, Billy Hatcher, and to my right, Mariano Duncan. And let me start with you first. Both of you guys, all 6 runs accounted for by you guys. Now, I thought the big hitters were supposed to be the other guys. What's happening?
Well, you know, Lou just told us, you know, we got to make something happen. And Mariano, he's been hitting lefties all year very, very hard. So, you know, I'm just trying to get on base, batting 8th. And today was just one of those days. That was me and Mariano's day.
You made a comment to me in Cincinnati about the kind of pressure you played with in the second half of the season, and certainly you look awfully loose out here today.
Yeah, it's fun. You know, you play a 162-game schedule. That's when it's the toughest. When you get into the playoffs, you have fun because you're playing the same team 7 games. You only have to concentrate on that team, so, you know, it makes it a lot funner.
Last question. Game 6, 1986 National League Championship Series, Houston against the Mets. You hit a home run in the 14th inning to tie it up. Was that home run bigger than this one or this one today?
Well, that one in the 14th, I wanted to beat the Mets really, really bad. You know, that was probably the best thing that ever happened to me as far as playing baseball, because it was a thrill I'd never forget. I mean, running around the bases, the people in the Astrodome were just going crazy. I was nervous. I was shaking when I sit down because I really didn't know what I had done until the next day after we had lost.
All right, congratulations on an outstanding
Thank you. All right.
All right, let's turn around to Mariano Duncan. San Pedro DeMarco Reese down in the Dominican Republic. Some outstanding ball players from down there.
Yeah, that's a lot of good ball players, but you know, first of all, I'm very happy that I kind of game what I have today, because you know, I want to show to the fan, I show to a lot of people that then, like the people say that the Eric Davis is supposed to carry the team. They, you know, I don't say nothing bad in particular about Eric Davis, you know, but they're supposed to be the whole team. The 9 guy that Lou put in the lineup, we're supposed to go into the field and do the best. You know, I don't want the Eric, you know, put a person himself thinking about it that he want to carry the team. I don't want him to think that way, because they're supposed to be the whole team.
Well, all right. Well, you definitely took a lot of pressure off of Eric Davis and a lot of people. Walk us through what the home run pitch was like and when you knew it was definitely out of here. Walk us through that slowly.
Well, you know, the soon when I hit the ball, you know, I know when I hit the ball very well, but I don't think I want to go out of the ballpark. You know, but when I'm running for first and second, when I see Barry Bonds, you know, go after the ball, I said, it's out of there, you know, and they make me the happy man in the world.
So you slowed up a little bit and took a nice hero trot.
Yeah, I did slow down, and then I enjoyed my home run.
All right, Mariano Duncan, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's go back upstairs to Jack Buck and Tim McCarver.
Chevrolet player of the game and Mariano Duncan. Oh, you got me talking too fast. Of the Cincinnati Reds, Chevrolet will donate $1,000 in his behalf to the Special Olympics. 2 singles, a 3-run homer, 4 RBIs. No doubt that Duncan was the MVP.
I guess the caption on today's game should be donuts and eggs. Duncan and Hatcher. All 6 runs driven in by Duncan and Hatcher. 4 by Mariano and 2 by Billy.
I doubt that Pat O'Brien will comment on that remark, but Pat will be along here in a moment. Cincinnati won at 6-3. They lead 2 games to 1.